what are you seeing in the market right now for companies that could have successful exits? I mean, I know that there's boomers that are trying to sell because they, don't have successors in their companies, small and mid market. You've got, you know, mid-size acquisitions that are happening. You've got the election coming up, and you've got, the economy with inflation. There's so much that's going on. I mean, I'm curious to see your perspective on exits right now.
Wow, that is such a broad topic, but my
It is
my
very broad.
view is
Yeah.
very broad. My view is, and I do keep a little bit of an eye on this. I'm not plunged hugely into the data and the trends, but from what I'm seeing, the boomers exiting, there is a whole subcategory of people who want to be a startup, but they're now being encouraged to not be a startup, buy something from a boomer, buy a previous
Yeah.
business and grow it. And I think there's a lot of value in that. There's a lot of
Mhm.
credibility. People have, I can't remember what the name of the book. There was a famous book that was done like 10 or 15 years ago that started this kind of thinking. But you
Mhm.
literally just go onto Twitter and you'll find 8,000 people all kind of recommending how you go about this and why it's a good idea. And it is genuinely a good idea. A startup is a really challenging thing to do. It takes
Yes.
much longer than you think. You need perseverance. You need to
Oh,
dig deep
so
and get
much.
grit to keep it going. So actually buying a successful business that may just be small, but you can buy it. The other thing with buying a business from a boomer, you can tend to do what's called seller finance. So you can buy it
Hmm.
without actually paying for it because the
Yeah.
seller will kind of allow you to pay it over your profits in the next year, 2 years, 5 years. So you can do that. So with very little money down, you can actually buy a business that's quite valuable, and then you put your sweat and blood and tears into it to grow it and make it successful. And
Yeah.
I personally think that is significantly easier than doing a startup. Startups are great
Hmm.
if you want to do something that's truly innovative and no one's done it before. That's
Hmm.
why venture capital is venture capital, because it's taking that risk in small startups,
Hmm.
but the reward has to be big for those guys. And then the other part of it is the bigger part of it, the private equity guys doing exits.
Yeah.
So for me, there's the different layers depending on the size of your business, the category you're in, things like
Hmm.
that. It's challenging out there. It is hugely challenging out there. I don't care who you are, it is challenging. But the one thing that is getting funded now is if you've got a good business. If you've got a
Yeah.
good business, people will give
An
you money.
actual valuable
An,
business in the
an
market.
actual
Yep.
valuable business. The
Hmm.
people who are struggling at the moment are the people who have got half of a good idea, they've half
Hmm.
executed on it, they've not
Hmm.
quite clarified it, they've not pivoted possibly, they've not quite
Hmm.
got the product market fit, but they've got a good idea. And they,
Yeah.
the founders themselves, can see that it's a good idea, and I can see it's a good idea, but it's just not quite ready for someone to say, I'll give you X amount of money to buy it,
Yeah.
to take it on, to move it forward. So it's that's what I'm seeing is there's lots and lots and lots of businesses out there that are fantastic businesses, but they're just
Yeah.
not quite ready to do the exit.